What's up, guys? Duane Richins, door-to-door realtor. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the market, where the market's headed, why it's headed in the direction it is, why we are the luckiest souls and blessed to be real estate agents in this market, because it's going to get crazy good for us. The first person we have to convince of that is ourselves. If you don't believe that now is the best time to buy, sell, invest in real estate, why would your clients ever feel that? So today, as I walk through, I'm going to show you some of the key factors of why you need to help your clients get into real estate today, and they will thank you for years and years to come. As we dive in here to the market, the housing construction market, all of this is doing really, really well. So a lot of people are thinking, oh no, it's not. Oh no, it's not. It's not very great at all. But in reality, it is. So as we look at baby boomers, and that's what the slide shows you, 68 million baby boomers. They were born from 1947 and 1965. A lot of them are passing away. It's going to put them up in their 80-year mark. It's moving them out of their homes. They're no longer able to care for themselves. But the baby boomer generation is starting to get those houses back up on the market. Gen X, that's ages 66 to 1981 is when they were born. I fall into that category, born in 79. Bottom line is they have over 50% equity in their homes. So what in the world could we do with 50% equity? If you're able to take that equity and deploy it, even on a new house, investment properties, there is a lot of capital out there to be used. And people need to know how to get the best bang for their buck out of the money that's just sitting in an account, not really doing anything. You got millennials next. Now, millennials, the majority of them did not buy. These are people born in 1982 to 1999. These people did not buy real estate simply based off of COVID, market uncertainties, things that are going on around them, interest rates, different details that way in which they didn't buy real estate. So they're now going to start engaging in real estate, realizing, hey, we need to get real estate. This is the way of the future. This is where we make a lot of money. And so you're going to see a lot of millennials coming back into the market. Gen Z, that's people born from 2000 to 2020. These are people that are going to go, oh my gosh, I need to invest in real estate. The investment is insane. So I need to take part of that. I'm going to make money and I'm going to buy a bunch of real estate. They're going to see the supply and demand chains start to dwindle away, and they're going to be buying a lot of real estate. So you're going to see a huge surge of purchasing real estate over the next, I would say 10 years at least. But as we look at housing, a lot of people think, hey, we're ready for a crash. Guys, we did not have a crash even when interest rates were 8%. During COVID, inflated economy where our prices were ridiculous on everything. Today's housing market, the challenges stand for undersupply. Not overvaluation, it's undersupply. Construction lagged way behind our population growth. So you're going to see that start to affect home prices even more so as we get into all these buyers jumping in. 2008 versus now, unlike 2008, today's home buyers or homeowners have strong equity positions. So there's tons of money on there. There's not a lot of, people going bankrupt. There's not a lot of problems with that. Subprime lending practices are gone. So there's not any issues with that either. So our trajectory on growth is just straight up. And I'm going to give you a bunch more details on that as well as we go into this. I'm not going to dive too much into the mortgage rates and all of that, but here is a great graph that shows a lot of what's happening pre-2008, where the lending was fueled, the housing bubble, the lending, they were giving loans out to about anybody under the sun. 2008, 2012, credit markets froze, and there was a financial crisis. So that caused a lot of problems that way. 2013, they started to get more normal, clear up to 2020 on the lending standards, and that brought certainty back in the market. And then 2021 to present, the index remains historically constrained, and it's going to be higher. We're going to float around that 6.8% is where we've been nationally for the last 25 years. So lending practices are going to be a little bit more conservative even yet, but your rates are going to flow around where they have. Looking at buying power, if you were to drop the rate by 1%, that gives someone a 12% increase in buying power, which is $60,000 difference. This would mean the difference of them buying a home at $500,000 or picking up the home at $440,000. Guys, that's a big deal. Just that 1%. So as we start looking at what's going to happen with all of these different groups coming in and what we should be looking for, there's a bunch of different slides. I'm not going to go into all these because I have some really important and exciting stuff that I want to share with you right now. We're going to start diving into the future housing markets, where it's headed, why, but we are short so many homes. And if there's a shortage, supply and demand issues always cause prices to shoot up. So not only am I telling you this, real estate agents, so that you will go out and help your clients get into that next dream home, get into their forever home, or invest in real estate, but also so that you guys go make enough money so you can go invest in real estate. Let's start looking at some of these numbers. When you look at 2024, we had 4 million homes sold, and that is the lowest annual rate since 1995. Our typical average is about 7 million homes sold each year. So guys, yes, we're having an affordability crisis, but it's not going to get better. So let's look at this, and here's why. The U.S. is short by approximately 3.8 million homes, according to Realtor.com, while the U.S. Chamber of Commerce estimates it's closer to 4.5 million homes short across the United States. So, holy cow, that is massive when it comes to shortages, because we remember back in COVID times when we were short homes, the prices went up. Everybody was bidding on them. There weren't many homes coming on the market because of the uncertainty. And so prices skyrocketed as people could not get a house, even if they were bidding way over, waiving appraisal. So as we start looking at this, it's crazy. Now, according to this graph, it said at current construction rates, it would take 7 to 7.5 years to close that gap. So that being said, it's going to take a while to bridge the gap of having enough affordable housing, or just housing in general, let alone affordable housing. So guys, we really need to get out there and help people understand what the market's doing, where it's headed, and why people need to do it. Now, why is there such a huge shortfall? It's because during the Great Depression, a time where they didn't go out and build enough homes. Zoning and regulation barriers have kept people from being able to build as fast as what they needed to. Affordability crisis. You take clear back to COVID when sheetrock and all of that went through the roof. I remember a sheet of plywood went up to $10 or $20, $50. I mean, it went through the roof. And so there's just a lot of problems that have kept us from being able to build as much as we've needed to build. That's why we're getting such a huge problem with supply and demand. Now we bring in these factors. There were 3.62 million babies born in 2024. There were 2.7 million marriages that took place last year. 4.1 million new retirees, meaning they're now time to downsize. There were 2.2 million new jobs added. All of these are real estate triggering events, and every one of them caused a real estate transaction. But think about this. How are we going to do it if we're short so many homes? Real estate agents got to get out there and knock those doors. Take a bunch of this statistical data, memorize it, use it, and help people realize that you are a professional in your field. You love to negotiate. You know the stats. You know where the market's headed. And guys, if you can do that, you're going to win every time over those that are sitting by a desk, waiting for people to call them and waiting for friends and family to say, hey, notice you're not selling a lot of real estate. Would you sell our house for us so we can help you out? Guys, don't be that person. Get out there, get aggressive, find people that are ready to do this. There's tons of them out there, and help them make the best decisions of their life. Just over the last 5 years, in 2021, we went up by 25%. In 2022, we jumped by 25%. That's a 50% increase in equity. Guys, I've got 68 doors, and I jumped by over $6 million in equity in 2 years. So if you're ready to go make a bunch of money, you've got to first go create that money and then deploy it, getting into real estate, and then you can then dive in and buy your own and have that financial freedom that's going to last forever. Guys, I appreciate you watching. Comment below some of the things you're going to use to help your business grow and to help your clients understand the market. Thanks for watching.